Okay. Okay, I know that was, you did very well. You're very calm
You
through
think
that.
so?
Yes, yeah, you didn't seem nervous. You were super well prepared. I think, like we mentioned quickly, briefly, was that maybe you had more review than needed to,
Right,
because the mini lesson got long.
right, exactly.
And
Sorry.
and it's always hard to manage that timing, but that
Right.
would be a place, as you mentioned already, to trim it down a
Right.
little bit. Right.
Because I felt that this review question, the first one, it took me more than 5 minutes. I can have different question which is fast, we can review.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And sometimes with review, you just want to pick like one strategy and just
Exactly.
review that one.
True.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
Then I wanted to add the add-on question because you just introduced them yesterday.
Yes.
And they remembered that.
That's right.
So
that was a good refresher too.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can always use some mathematical languages during the review session so that remember.
And then we want to remember to use that vocabulary in our delivery as well.
Right.
So what would the equation say?
Exactly.
Addend plus addend equals sum. What are the two addends?
What are
So
the two
we
addends?
use it for them too. Great. I liked how you, for that first review question, you asked the kids about the strategies they would use.
Right.
Some questions give just really quick, thin, we call them thin answers, and then everybody's talking at once. Like if you say, how many strategies could you solve this problem, right? They got kind of quiet because they didn't know, is there a right answer or wrong answer?
Right.
But when you asked, what strategies might you use to solve this problem, then a lot of hands went up.
Right.
So and plus you didn't just get a number, I know 3 strategies. You got actual names of them, the arrow way or the place value discs.
So maybe I can show like these are the strategies, which one you're going to use, and then.
No, just reminding them, because remember they can all use their own, and then you could just gesture to some of the other anchor charts. Oh, remember these are some of the strategies you can use: the arrow way, the place value way, the number bond way.
Right.
So that was a good way to get those words out, and also to help kids think about what they're going to try.
Right.
When they started using their whiteboards to solve that review question 1, you modeled the tape diagram way, right? So they could see that. And then Ella orally gave you the arrow way.
She did it also.
And she did, yes, she did it on her
showed,
paper. I think it's also really good if you could lift it up so everybody could see that.
Right, exactly.
So that they have both visuals again. But that was really great. And it was nice to see Ella engaged. She was engaged several times today.
I saw Ella that she was doing that, but at the same time there were other students who were really working, and maybe next time I'm going to separate Ryan and Wanwu together. Maybe I want to call Ryan and just from the beginning come and sit in the front.
Right in the beginning, having those seating. We tried to give the girls another chance, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
Even though Ella was more engaged, Ruby and Amina are still pulling her attention away. So we just have to say, we need to really sit. We need to sit in the places we know we do our best learning, and I'm going to wait until we do that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting a lot from Wanwu. He knows math a lot, but when you're asking something, he's not the one who's doing the work. Other people were doing a lot of more work and answering the questions than Wanwu.
Exactly. It's surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. And then you did a lot of those quick review questions and asked them about what pattern did you notice. That was fun for the kids. That got them, more back together again. But after 13 minutes, there were kids that were drawing on their whiteboards in the back, and that always happens. So whiteboards are great, but you want to keep control of them so that they're not playing with the caps and the pencils until they need them. And I haven't developed a great system yet, but you try. And then putting them down and away
Right.
so they don't play with them again.
Right.
It's very tempting for the kids,
Right,
isn't
exactly.
it?
Mm-hmm.
But it was a great strategy to see what they had done. Your anchor chart was beautiful. It was really, uh, it was really visual,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids, I noticed when they went to do independent work, were making, they used their anchor chart to really model what they were doing, so they had a good understanding of that. At first, I wasn't sure why the question, I think it was just the next slide, was on the board, and yet we were talking about the anchor chart. So I wasn't sure which place to look.
Mm-hmm.
But then I noticed after you did the anchor chart, you did go to the whiteboard and solve that problem there with the kids,
Right,
which was great. And the kids were very engaged with that. I
Mm-hmm.
liked how you reminded the kids to write a complete answer.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So it was finished with the problem solving activity, and then the directions were given. So that was, you know, and I only put the times here just to kind of
Right.
see where was the bulk of your time spent.
Exactly.
And where you might trim it to make it a little bit tighter,
Right.
so we don't lose those kids to the, well, it's going to be a constant struggle always,
Right,
but if we have a shorter time, they have less time to start to lose their focus.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think absolutely, like, Seem, I agree with
Mm.
you that mini lesson 30 minutes is a big time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to like make it short, 15 minutes maximum or 20. For that, I could have easily done that if I get multiple. So my strategy is always like start with a multiple question. That's how I love the kids to engage.
Okay.
So on the board, let's write random questions or with the complete sentences so that they can get engaged. Then anchor chart. Let's do a problem together, then extended activity. That's an easy way. And maybe like strategies like that where they can get up from the chair and then go to, so they're not like feeling bored at one place.
Yeah, sometimes with the whiteboards, I might have them at their desks already, and after being on the carpet for 7 minutes, I might say, okay, now go to your tables and sit down in front of your whiteboard.
Right, exactly.
Okay, and then they can do that activity at their desk. They can all hold it up and
Right.
show a little bit, or some way of sharing. And then, okay, let's come back to the carpet, and I'll give you the directions for what we're going to do next, or something like that, to get them moving a little bit.
Right. But as you said, whiteboards are very tempting because they're small kids. The last row was trying to erase the pictures
And
more time.
they think they're being good because they're quiet,
Right, right.
but what they're not doing is not focusing 100% like they should be. Yeah. So it went well, and the kids did a great job of working. I think we'll look
They
at all
did
their
finish,
work now and kind of assess who was able to get through all of the work,
Right.
who had some struggles where we
Right.
need to put our eyes on tomorrow.
Right.
An interesting thing might be for the kids to answer, where did they do their best work? Was it in the independent station, the collaborative station, or the station where they had some teacher help? Because I know for a fact Wan Wu, our star math student, he did 3 problems in 10 minutes
Exactly.
because he talked the whole time.
He talked the whole time with William and Peter.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, the kids like Amina, they finished.
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
because of the group choosing or
So
something.
it's something for them to know about themselves. Wow, when I worked in my collaborative group, I didn't do my best work. Or when I did work in the collaborative group, I did my best work. So maybe we can come up with like a little, just a little self-assessment that they can put on top of their paper. We can staple it to it, a little brightly colored paper. I did my best work in this station, check it. And this station was not my best. Or, maybe next time when I'm in the collaborative station, I should not sit next to my friend, or I should talk more about math and not recess.
Right, right. Yeah. So I also focused on those particularly 3 students, and which is Won Wu, Peter, and William. Felix was trying to do hard work, but as they were together in a seat, it's difficult.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So seating will always be important, but I like to put the accountability back on the children, and that's where that little reflection will be a great way to start tomorrow's lesson.
Okay.
By saying, hey, I had a look at everything you did, and it looks like you got some great work, but what I didn't know was, where do you think you did your best work? You know, and think about which station you were at when you got the most done or you felt the most successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I suggest something? Tomorrow we have a Thinking Thursday. So instead of in the morning meeting, instead of doing like how the third graders look like, can we do this
Then
Thursday
yes, we
thing?
can. But don't you think we should have the math paper ready for them with a little thinking, jot sheet right on top of their paper for them?
Yeah,
So it's
sure,
not just
yeah.
mentally thinking
No,
about it,
okay,
but they
okay.
can see,
See
oh
what they
yeah,
did. Okay.
this is where I did my best. I remember now, Mrs. Kelly talked to me when I was here. Miss Mitra helped me with this, and it was very good. Yep. What a good idea.
Yeah, sure,
And then you
we can
take
do
care
that.
of that reflection, that thinking, putting the accountability back on the kids again. And maybe when they're working in these little groups again, which I think we should do right away, then they're more conscious of what they can do better.